Hey, Shalom, Spawn Yeshua. I had a brother reach out to me and ask me a question. Basically, went like this: Brother, there's a pastor out there. I came from the same ministry you did, obviously. and there's a pastor out there that is asking me to tell my story about what I went through. And I'm not feeling led to tell my story. I'm not feeling led to explain what I went through. What should I do? And here's what I'm going to say, brother. From what you're saying, it's one pastor is telling you to testify against another one. Brother, don't be recruited in somebody else's battles. Do not allow yourself to be recruited into somebody else's fight. If you weren't led to take up that fight, don't fight it. It ain't yours. See, these people that are trying to recruit you, these same people that were part of that ministry, they were also recruited. You remember when they were part of that ministry, they recruited people to speak good of the ministry. They recruited people to talk good about the ministry. And now that they're not part of it, now they're recruiting people to talk against it. It's always about recruiting. It's always about getting somebody. It's always, it's the same ploy. They told people back then, you ain't a man if you don't stand up and say something. Now you ain't a man, if you didn't sing their praises and talk about how great they were, you weren't a good brother. Now here you are on the other side, and again, you're not a good brother unless you take up somebody else's fight. It's the same ploy. Brother, if you got delivered from that organization, from that group, from any group, I guess it could be any group. If you get delivered from it, walk in that deliverance and enjoy the freedom. Enjoy the fact that you are in charge of your life. Stop letting people manipulate and persuade and deceive you into taking up fights that aren't yours. You just got out of fighting a fight. You just left that camp, that church, that ministry. And here you are trying to live your life. Here you are trying to get on your feet. And immediately people are calling you punks and weak and you don't love your brother if you don't. See, that's manipulation. Why are they still trying to coerce you into a decision? The decision that has Yahweh asked you to do that thing? Has the Holy Spirit guided you to do that thing? And if it hasn't, then why are you letting a man? See, it goes back to that man thing. There's always some sort of man who's trying to tell you what to do with your life, your story, your money, your preeminence, your choice. Don't let no man, do that to you. I think it's sad, and it's still an indicator that even after you leave these cultish-like groups, the cult-like aura is still there. The same game that was played in the group is being played out of the group. That's why I don't play. That's why I keep my ass out here. That's why I read the book. I serve Yah. I keep his commandments. I don't let myself get drawn into these battles, these arguments, unless I'm feeling led by the Holy Spirit to do it. The problem is that a lot of y'all men who are part of these groups, the Holy Spirit was that leader. That was your Holy Spirit. And it's interesting that you're finding out that Yah's ways oftentimes are contrary to the men that you called your leaders. Yah's ways are completely contrary to that. And they're so used to being able to say stuff, and people say, yes, yes, master. And they run off and go do it. Tell your testimony. Tell your side of the story. Tell what happened. Tell how wicked this person is and wicked that person is. And you say, yes, sir. And you run off and go do it. Taking up fights that weren't even yours. Using your time, your resources, your energy, your effort on things that aren't even yours. You just got free. And immediately they're already trying to get you to tell your side of the story. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. You don't love your brother. And yeah, you might tell your story to other people. You may not want to go to a public forum and tell your story, and that's your right. That's your right. It don't make you selfish. Are you still helping people? If you told one other brother and that one other brother is blessed by it, did you not help? They're trying to convince you don't love your brother because you won't go onto a YouTube page and tell your story to 100 or 1,000 or 5,000 people. This is what happens when you realize that your preeminence has been stolen. That your right to make a decision, your right to seek Yah and do what he says. And if he didn't say do it, then you have a right to not do it. Then they try to convince you, well, look at this verse, brother, and look at this verse, and look at this verse, and this is why you should do it. It's the same stuff. You can get the homeboy out the hood, but can't take the hood out the homeboy. You can take the person out of these cults, but you can't take the cult out of these people. They still think like they're part of it. Brother, walk in your freedom. Do not allow yourself to be deceived. You are it. Walk in the freedom of Messiah. Walk in the freedom. They'll try to tell you you ain't Israel and you don't love your Israelite brother because, see, it's all word playing games. Because two people don't like each other, they're recruiting a bunch of people to take up the fight. And you clearly said, this ain't my fight. That's why I left. I didn't leave to appease you, Pastor. I didn't leave to appease this pastor over here either. I left because I saw that this isn't something that I should be in. There are things being done that I do not agree with, and I'm walking away from it. I am delivered from it. A lot of the brother that I was talking to said, I'm not even saying I'm not going to share my testimony. I just don't want to share it now, and I'm not going to say it as part of this pastor's agenda. And you have that right, brother. Years ago, 6 years ago, when I did what I was doing and talking about preeminence and why I wasn't part of the ministry and the things that I saw that weren't right, I didn't do it to take up any other cause other than I felt through the Holy Spirit it was time for me to say something. No man came to me and held and tried to say you're not a man if you don't share. Who does that stuff? It's the continued manipulation and game playing to tell a man that he ain't a man or that he doesn't love his brother because he don't do what somebody else wants him to. Because this pastor over here said that I don't love my brothers unless I come out and do it the way he wants me to do it. Do not allow yourself to be recruited to fight somebody else's battle. You have a lot of battles that you are already going to have to fight by the sheer fact that you left this cult group, this organization. And right now, you may be in a position where the battles that you want to fight are the ones that are right in front of you. You already fought that battle and you already overcame it. That's why you're not there anymore. Walk in that freedom. Walk in that. Obey the Father. If Yah tells you to say something, you'll know when to say it because Yah, through the Holy Spirit, will give it to you to say it. But do not let yourself, brothers, do not let yourself be drafted. Do not let yourself be recruited. Do not let yourself to be manipulated into fighting battles that aren't yours. There's enough fighting that you're going to have to do, being that you just came out. A lot of y'all are fighting to keep your family intact. A lot of you are fighting, to read the word and not have that influence of the cult or the religion that you were a part of all over it. And now somebody else is calling you weak. You just showed strength by walking away from these religions, these ministries, these assemblies that take all your stuff. And now you're being called weak by somebody else because you won't take up his cause. You want to know what strength is? Being strong is being able to say, nah, I ain't going to do that. You can talk your shit, but I ain't going to do that. Anyways, I was asked to do this video to answer this question, and that's my answer. Bless y'all, brothers. Bless y'all, sisters. Sorry for all the little spit you can see flying around. It's a pretty passionate conversation. It's a pretty passionate topic because I just don't like that. I don't like that manipulation that people be trying to do to get people to do what they want. Oh, this pastor said that I'm this if I don't do this. It's the same shit you went through when you were part of that group. You ain't part of them no more. Bless y'all, brothers. Shalom.